with you, and he wants a bride that is equally yoked to him in love. And that starts on the inside with the heart, the soul, the mind, and the strength. But it doesn't end there. He says, if you love me, take up your cross, deny yourself, and follow me. Self-denial is not popular. And I'm not at all talking about self-denial in and of itself. There's no merit in a religious spirit of self-denial. That will get you nowhere. I'm talking about a posture of love. And what I mean, basically, of denying yourself, turn your computer off. That kind of stuff. We're not living in the age of martyrdom. I'm not talking about martyrdom, although it may lead to that. What I'm talking about is turn your phone off for a little while so that you can actually talk to him. Turn your computer off. Say no to a few hangouts so that you can have time in the Word. Wake up early. Be with him. Talk to him. Interact with him. Get rid of everything that gets in the way of that perpetual conversation. That's what I mean by self-denial. You deny your natural impulse. I'm a very impulsive person. Anybody? I tend to be very impulsive and addictive. So I just do it, and then I do it over again, and then I'm stuck. I'm impulsive, I'm addictive, and the Lord's like, deny yourself. Stop doing that. Because we can't talk. We can't have this conversation if you're so preoccupied all the time with entertainment. Fasting is a form of self-denial. Prayer is a form of self-denial because you're denying all the other things that you could be doing to sit with the Lord, to be with him. But here's the thing. You were made for it. You will be most happy, most alive. The Lord also said that if you love me, you will keep my commandments. It's not because he just wants obedience. It's not about that, although that's good enough in and of itself. He's God, and we should obey. But his commandments are like the user manual for humanity. He is the creator. He designed you. He formed you. You were born like a baby, and the Bible is the user manual. Like how to make this work. Here's the how to make this work manual. He knows you so well. He's creator. If you love him, you'll keep his commandments, and you will be most alive. Most fulfilled. It's not always easy. He said it's a cross, which implies death. It's not always easy, but I'm telling you, you will never find what you're looking for until you find what he's looking for. You will never be satisfied until you satisfy him, and you will never be fully alive until you learn to die. You never will. All of these secondary things, so many of them are good, they have their place, but they are secondary. The title of this conference is Jesus, Our Magnificent Obsession. Oh, I want to be obsessed with him. I want to get rid of everything that hinders this obsession. I want to remove everything, all distraction. I want to see how far I can go in the freedom of transcendence. Holiness is the freedom of transcendence. It's rising above it. You become like someone the world is not worthy of. That's what holiness is. You can't be touched by the muck of sin. I want to go all the way in holiness. I want to go all the way in the freedom and the liberty of transcendence. But it's a battle. It's a battle. Paul the Apostle said it's a battle. When you signed up to be wholly devoted to the Lord, you signed up for a battle. And the truth is, even if you didn't sign up for that, life's a battle. So there's no way around it. Life's a desert, life's a wilderness, life's a battle. This is it. Life's a race. We're going somewhere. Life is a battle, but you were made for it. You were made to fight for something. You were made to die for something. You were made for someone so much bigger than the boring, mundane, and the routine. You were made to live exhilarated. You were made for it. I had a dream. I had a dream probably 10 years ago. And in the dream, I'm a little girl. And I'm in this moonlit cemetery. It's this beautiful cemetery with huge gravestones. And there's this massive open grave. It's huge. It's like the size of a swimming pool. It's huge. And I'm a tiny little girl, and I'm being very childish, and I'm dancing around, and I'm just twirling not paying attention, not taking myself seriously, not taking anything seriously. I'm just spinning around, and all of a sudden, I fall into the middle of this open grave. I fall into this dark, black, open grave. And my heart stops. I grab a hold of the side of the grave, and in this dream, it is so vivid, I can feel the grass roots like crackling under my fingernails. I can taste the dirt. I'm hanging on to the side of this grave. I look over my shoulder, and it's just a bottomless, dark, dark, dark pit. Suddenly, in the dream, I'm very, very sober. All that carefree, not taking things seriously is over. And I have one thing on my mind: I gotta get out of here. So I have all of my energy and all of my strength. I'm climbing up the side of this grave, trying to get out. My clothes are all ripped, and I'm filthy, and it took a lot of effort to get out of this grave. Suddenly, I'm on the side of the grave, and now I'm an adult. I'm grown. I look down. I'm sober, but I'm happy. I'm sober. I'm serious-minded. I'm an adult. My clothes are all ripped. It's muddy everywhere. I walk to the head of the grave, and there's someone at the foot of the grave who was like someone just the brethren, and he's throwing in these ashes into this grave, and he says, "You better be careful. You better be careful." And then I walk to the front of the grave, and I start to extend my arms like this, one like a cross, really, really slow, very deliberately, very slowly. And when I stretch them all the way out, like a cross, the brethren shouted out, "Don't do that! It looks like you're being crucified." And he was angry. And when he said crucified, my hands extended all the way, and suddenly the Lord himself came from behind me. The Lord himself stepped into me. And when he stepped into me, I was one with him. All of a sudden, light started beaming out of me. I was dressed in light. There was light coming out of my fingers. There was light coming out of my face, out of my garments, and I started to come off the ground, and I was rising off the ground. Light was radiating everywhere. I looked down in that open grave, and suddenly it was swallowed up, and all the tombstones started to crash down to the ground as I was standing in the midair with light radiating and energy and electricity all around me. The presence of the Lord so strong as I stood in the form of a cross, arms wide open, heart exposed, one with the Lamb who was slain, one with the one who is called love. And in the dream, I'm standing there hovering above this cemetery as it crashes and crumbles to the ground. It completely disappears. And then I wake up. And when I wake up, I'm standing up in the room like this with my hands out, and I'm praying loudly in the Spirit. And there's electricity all over me. There's electricity swirling around me. And the Holy Spirit said, "You will either die in your sin, or you will die to yourself, and therefore live. Because you were made for it." You want the power of God on your hands, on your heart. You want the energy of God. You want that divine, holy, transcendence presence. Love him with all of your heart, your soul, your mind, your strength, and deny yourself. Look at him and be discipled by him. Do you know what it means to be obsessed by Jesus? When a person is obsessed, they become like that which they are obsessed with. Have you ever seen it? There's guys who are obsessed with football. They walk around in the football jerseys. You're like, you are not a football player. But they're obsessed. They want to identify with what they're obsessed with. People who are obsessed begin to take on the personality traits of that which they're staring at. You want to be obsessed with Jesus? Look at him. And the way he defined himself ultimately was a servant, the servant of all. You want to be obsessed with him? You're going to become a slave. You want to be obsessed with him? You're going to deny yourself. You want to be obsessed with him? You're going to be conformed into his image, the very